7:58 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time 07:580 in Bocot. Melanie Phelan, a local community activist from northern Kensington, said she had also asked the inquiry's officials in the Connaught rooms whether Morbik could not come back to answer questions from relatives and survivors because of the strength of feeling in the room for him to return. She was told that, as had been announced beforehand, Morbik would not be taking any questions. Phelan said they don't seem to be very empathetic or even listening. We wanted him to listen to the survivors. Updated at 8:23 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Facebook, Twitter, Google+. 7:41 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time 07410 in Bocot. A former resident of the tower who attended the Connaught Rooms meeting, Sadali Atmani, said he was disappointed by Morbik's tone. I wanted more compassion to come out. I don't know, he doesn't want any local residents on the advisory panel. He seems to be choosing his own people. It was bad. We are not going to give up. He should at least have stayed for another 10 minutes to speak to our lawyers. I wanted more passion. Updated at 7:43 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Facebook, Twitter, Google+. 7:19 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time 0719 Amelia Gentleman. The local Labour councillor Robert Atkinson said this was just the beginning of a new chapter in the process. His Morbik's role is to get to the truth, not to prosecute people or to allocate money. It was the event I expected. People should not expect a judge to be empathetic. Some local residents stayed behind at the church after the statement, discussing services being provided for the community by the NHS and the council. The conversation became heated and left one person in tears. The entrance to the church is still decorated with fresh flowers, left by visitors honoring the dead. Tributes outside Notting Hill Methodist Church. Photograph Peter Carey. Updated at 7:36 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Facebook, Twitter, Google+. 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time 0700 Amelia Gentleman. There was unhappiness among some of the people who watched the statement screening in the Methodist Church by Grenfell Tower that it was going to be Easter before the first phase of the process was finished. There was also widely shared disappointment that there was not going to be a formal role for a local resident. It is so unfair that no one from the community will be involved. It's not representative, one resident, evacuated from the building next to the tower and still living in a hotel, said, asking not to be named. Updated at 7:27 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Facebook, Twitter, Google+. 6:58 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time 06580 in Bocot. Commenting on Morbik's opening statement, the experienced inquiry solicitor Louise Christian said bereaved families don't need to hear all about the font size of legal submissions and how many days in advance skeleton arguments need to be submitted. This appeared to be a hearing for the sake of a hearing. He should have addressed himself to the family's concerns. Morbik spent a portion of his opening statement setting out the details of how submissions should be made, including the size of the font and other minutiae. Updated at 7:28 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Facebook, Twitter, Google+. 6:55 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time 0655 Amelia Gentleman. Marcia Haynes, who lives near the tower, and who knew one of the victims, said she was angry that no one from the community was to be given a formal role as an assessor on the inquiry. There is no one who will represent us. She said confidence in the process was low, even before the inquiry began. We are used to inquiries in this country. They drag them out for years. We're not going to let that happen. This community won't allow it. Updated at 7:31 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Facebook, Twitter, Google+. 6:52 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time 0652 Amelia Gentleman. Sharon Lessie, who escaped from the 9th floor of the tower with her 7-year-old daughter, said, I don't have a lot of confidence in the inquiry. I know it's a separate process, but based on what I have experienced so far in the months since the fire, I don't have confidence in anything at the moment. My level of trust and confidence in them all is very low. She said she was glad the actions of the fire services would be investigated. The fire brigade saved our lives. We were asleep until they banged on the door. They did a really good job for us, but for other people higher up the building, they didn't get such good information about what they should be doing. She also welcomed the focus on the refurbishment. She had only moved into 2 weeks before the fire, so had little experience of the building before it was clad. She is currently back in temporary accommodation and going through the process of trying to find new council accommodation. I am worried about the rehousing process. I came here today to inform myself about the lines of inquiry. We are just going to keep watching the process to see what it delivers. Facebook, Twitter, Google+. 6:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time 06500 in Bocot. Mansfield adds Morbik is taking loads of decisions without a panel. I'm sure it's all been decided behind closed doors. There are grave concerns. It's a matter of disrespect to the survivors not to stay and answer questions. Facebook, Twitter, Google+, 6:49 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. 0649 Facebook, Twitter, Google+, 6:45 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. 0645 Peter Wacker, Downing Street, says the Prime Minister, Theresa May, is confident the inquiry will discover what happened and learn any relevant lessons for the future. May's spokesman said the Prime Minister has said, "We are determined there will be justice for the victims of this appalling tragedy and for their families. As the inquiry starts today, we're confident it will get to the truth of what happened and learn the lessons to stop a similar catastrophe from happening in the future." May is also due to release a formal written statement to Parliament today confirming the terms of reference for the inquiry. Facebook, Twitter, Google+, 6:43 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. 0643 Grenfell Tower public inquiry opens. Facebook, Twitter, Google+.